What's up, y'all? I'm actually sitting here at a TA in was it Bringhampton, New York State, because they have a trucker ban from driving on I-90 and 190 headed out to Buffalo. That's where I'm supposed to be taking this load at. So I decided to actually rest up here until the ban lifts. It's knocking my money, but the thing is, in life you gotta be resourceful, and sometimes when things aren't as planned, you put in contingency plans in order to get things done or make money. Also, that's the dangers of having one source of income, because if something never happened, it dries up for any kind of reason, then you kind of left ass out. So that's why I pride myself to build multiple streams of income. That way, one monkey don't stop no show. You can still pay bills and everything like that. That's what I encourage people to do. So, build up these side hustles, build up these businesses. But what I wanted to tell y'all about today is, or at least what I wanted to talk to you about, was being smart with your money. Just investing your money. When I got into driving a truck, and I can honestly say, in terms of a job, I was making the most money that I've ever made with a job. And I was a little older. I got my CDL when I was 35. When I started driving, so I didn't have, I guess, the mindset that I would have had when I was in my 20s. I'd have splurged on things. And let me clarify, I'm not saying this to say that I'm rich or anything like that, but it has been the most money that I've made in a job. And but just studying finance and studying business and everything like that, one of the things that I knew right off the bat is that despite what your job is, nothing is guaranteed. So you can make a decent amount of money, but nobody says that that source of income will be here forever, or something won't happen in your life, or you won't get into some kind of car accident, or in my particular case, a truck accident or something like that that'll not allow you to work and make the income that you were making before. And and in life anything can happen. Nothing is guaranteed. So you're put in a situation where now you can't take care of the bills or your family for a certain level of living that you all had established based on the income that you prior had. So one of the first things I started doing was I started investing my money, investing and saving my money. And there's a lot of these little tools out, particularly like these apps like Acorn and Stash, and you have Robinhood, and they allow you to invest your money in the stock market, start a IRA, some of them you can even invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I'm not even sure that Bitcoin was hot for a minute. I'm not even sure people still investing in it. I wasn't one to jump aboard or whatever. I wanted to see how that played out. Because with money, here's the thing. I don't like to, in terms of investment, I don't like to gamble with money. Not unless that's the particular strategy. Is to do kind of a risky investment. But for the most part, I like stable and consistent, and like for something to be proven over time. And at that particular time, cryptocurrency wasn't it. It's still a little volatile, so I gave it some time. But to get back on subject, you have these apps like Robinhood, Stash, and Acorn, and by no means am I affiliate for them right now. I'm not advocating for them. I'm not getting paid to mention them. If those companies want to pay me, reach out to me. But I mentioned them to say that what I did was I started putting excess money, that I could be spending on stupid stuff into those investments. And over a period of time, I built up my savings. And it proved that in time, like I said, or like I thought, there would be times when, for whatever reason, it could be on it could be on the truck company's fault or something, or it could be on the broker's end or something like that, where I got caught up, or a situation like right now where I'm not able to turn these wheels on this truck because of this ban, and I got this trailer attached to me that I need to drive in Buffalo, and I really can't move. So there may be times where you might have some cash flow issues, and you need to tap into your rainy day funds, and you having excess money allows you to put money away. And the thing is, let me not paint that picture. I said excess money because that's actually one of the pitfalls of saving money. People believe that you have to have excess money to save. Now here's the thing. This is how you save. This is how you save your money. What you do is the government tax you, the state tax you. You have federal and state taxes right off the bat from your job, from your pay, your earned income. This is what you do in order to save and build up your savings. Those two entities tax you, and you should have a self-tax right after that. And then I know it's going to be challenging and it's going to be rough, and you're going to like my paycheck or whatever, but remember, you're taxing yourself for you. So you should be the third entity that tax your paycheck, and that should be your investment and your saving. So it should be federal, state, and then yourself. You just implement a tax, whether it's 5% or 10% or whatever your check is. Tax yourself. Find an account that you can put it in. I would not recommend your savings account. In fact, I would open up a little investment account. And like I said, you can pick one of these apps, and it's so simple. All you do is link to your bank account and put that money, each paycheck, into that account, and you never see it. And over a period of time, it's going to build up, and it'll be your support system in case of a rainy day or anything happens. You could tap back into that. One thing that I've also did was I've taken advantage of the IRA and the IRA, and they have something called a custodial account for kids. All right, so I already have a retirement account, an IRA, and I started another retirement account with I want to say Stash. I did one with Stash. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to start my children's retirement account. I'm actually working on finishing my youngest daughter's retirement account. She's 4. Now imagine that. Imagine if you could have a retirement account that your parents started when you were 4 years old. Now my son is 3, and I'm about to start his. So from the time you were 3 years old until whenever you decide to retire. I mean, you retire. Let's say like my mother's, she retired in her 70s, and imagine if you rolled that money over, or even if you continued saving from your 70s. I mean, I don't have a calculator to do the math or anything like that right now, but I'm pretty sure that would either be $1 million or close to, very close to $1 million, high 6 figures, depending on what the return is, and if you invested smartly into a vehicle that's consistent and yields a certain amount of return. Also, if you get savvy, at some particular point in your life, like say my daughter's life, and I have this money, if she gets savvy enough to understand investments, and she puts the money that I've already saved for her into a solid investment that yields her even further return, then she can double and triple the money that I've already started for her. So it's just about being smart, man. It's just about being smart with your money. I teach my children that there's nothing. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. Some people say like it's two spectrums. It's one where you have they have a spender's mentality where you're primarily a consumer, and then on the other one, people think you have to be thrifty or cheap in order to be financially educated. But I'm somewhere in the middle because I tell my children, like, if you want Jordan, which I'm not a fan of Jordan, I don't even like the shoe brand. But if you are a fan of like Jordan, or you want bump it up, you want different kind of cars or whatever it might be, a Benz, some type of Benz, or whatever your little fix is, in terms of the toys you want. It's nothing for me. It's nothing wrong with that, but it has to come, and this is what I teach my children, it has to come from an asset. So if you have your earned income paying for that toy, that's a dangerous situation that you're gonna lose. So for example, if I gotta pay, if I'm buying, like, I don't know, if I wanted to go out and get I'm so far off in like material shit. Like, I'm not a material dude. Like, and it, again, I'm almost 40, so there was a time where that stuff mattered to me, but right now that I could care less about it or whatever. For me, being able to buy, having the means to buy those material things is more important than the actual material things. Like right now, if I said, I want to go out and I want to buy a Cadillac Escalade or something like that, being able to do it is more important than actually buying the Escalade. But let's take the Escalade, since I threw it out there. So if you wanted to buy an Escalade, and that was something that you really, which I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't, I'm not a person that be like, no, you shouldn't have those things. I'm all for it. If you wanted to buy it, it shouldn't come from your paycheck. You should start a little side business. Learn about the business, put in the time to grow it, because remember, it's a business. Business takes time, takes research, take effort, consistency, you knowing what you're doing, you failing, you getting over the failures and everything like that, and that takes time. Put that time and effort into it, grow it up until it becomes an asset, a commodity. Once it starts yielding you money, then buy the Cadillac Escalade. Don't fall into the pitfall of taking your paycheck, and your paycheck looks good. Your paycheck, for me personally, my paycheck is to be leveraged so that I can build up investments, savings, and start businesses so that I won't be dependent on the paycheck. And in the meantime, the paycheck is there to cover living and the life expenses. But for me, that's not a permanent fix. The permanent fix is when you have investments and your assets and you've built them up so that one day you're not dependent on a paycheck. If you like doing your job and you love what you do, getting up every day, like I love trucking, I can say that. But I should arrange my life to the point where actual sitting behind the wheel trucking, I don't do it because I need to do it to take care of my life. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. So the strategy, do what you need to do, take care of your bills right now, keep your expenses down, all the fancy stuff and everything like that, put that to the side for now. You can get that. All right, you can get it. You can ball out, do whatever you want to do. All right, all the lavish trips and stuff like that, you can do that. But for the time being, until you get those assets off the ground, or that business is yielding money, or the investments are bringing you returns back, simply live your life at a certain standard leverage your paycheck so that you can build your side hustle or your side business, so that you can put away your investment, and you can build your investment money. Invest in yourself too. Hold on, I got to make this point before I get out of here. One thing that I had to discover is that your brain, your mind is your biggest investment. So a lot of times, when we talk about investments, we want to think about company investments or some kind of business, like investing in Coca-Cola or something like that. When you're first starting out and you're trying to learn how to be financially savvy or grow wealth, and you want to start investing, the biggest thing that you can invest in is yourself. Make your mind a weapon. So that means investing in books, going to seminars, workshops. Do you know how to invest in the stock market? You don't? Cool. Take a little bit of money out of your paycheck. Take some stock market classes. That's investing, because that will pay off. A lot of times we think that we put in the S&P 500 to pay off. Your mind is the S&P 500. So invest in yourself. Then over a period of time, once you've caught a hold on and got the fundamentals on what you think is investment, then go out there, set a little money to the side for experimentation purposes to fail. Take that money out there, use it to learn, to get some lessons. You're going to fail, and then you're going to fail till you succeed. And once you start getting better, then you can take a little more money, invest that in, because now you know what you're doing. Invest that money so that now you can start yielding some returns and some gains on your money, and you just take it from there. And the whole thing about wealth accumulation is leverage. Everything is leverage. Wealthy people understand the process of leverage, whether it's leveraging money, time, people, energy, whatever it may be. So on the lower end, with us working people and us middle class and lower class people, we haven't really got down pat the concept of leveraging. Everything falls on us. We don't understand how to leverage our energy, our resources, and our time. If you ever hear somebody in the middle class or lower, I don't want to say lower because no one is better, but lower economical class, say that let's say they had some money problems or something like that. What's the first thing people usually say? I'm gonna get another job, right? I'm gonna get another job. That's because everything falls to us. We still have that mentality where we don't know how to leverage the world around us. The world around us is a resource and an asset. So, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take this money and I'm gonna put into a communal fund or a group fund, a project, or a starter business, a Kickstarter business, or something like that, where I could actually get my money back on the back end at a higher rate than me going out and working 5 hours after I done worked 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 to 6 more hours on top of that, getting no sleep and everything like that, just to get a little more of a paycheck than what I already got to work myself out of the debt or the hole that I got. See, that's the thing. So the concepts are simple, but they're not easy. It's simple to understand that, we need to leverage our time and our money and just be smarter with things. It's not like if I work a day job and I'm behind on my bills and stuff like that. Our emotions get in the way of us making smart decisions. What we do is we'll run away with our emotions of the fear of being broke or poor or being put out of our house or something like that. But the thing is, if we actually took the time to sit back and devise a strategy where, say, hey, out of my paycheck, I'm gonna put this amount of money to the side, and all this is going to be is business learning money. I don't know, $50 out of my paycheck or something like that, and I'm gonna save that up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take an e-com course once I build up the money or whatever, and the course is going to show me how to start an affiliate marketing business or a drop shipping business or whatever it may be online, sell from eBay or whatever it may be. But we caught up in our emotions, and the first sign of danger or being low on our finances, we throw all caution to the wind and we sell ourselves and our time to getting a part-time job or going through well, I make $45,000. If I could just get a job now to pay me $48,000 to $50,000, I'll be in better shape. That's not thinking smart, man. That's not. So you need to strategize for the long haul. But that's just my little bit of knowledge that I'm kicking in y'all part. However I see fit. When I obtain things to make myself higher. I just want to spread it, man. That's my blessing, because you understand that the more value you give out, the more you get in return. And some people put that on a monetary level, whereas the more you get out, the more you get in money. But I'm looking at life. I'm looking at energy, spirituality, finances, of course. But the more I put out, the more I try to make other people's lives better, the more I can get in return. And and the thing is, let me say this too: I'm not actually doing it to get things in return or whatever. It's just a cycle of life. I'm putting out because, that's why I'm here. I feel like as people, as living organisms on a planet, and that's pretty much all we are. We just evolved organisms. Everything is me, and we live in a selfish aspect, but we actually all here to make each other and the planet, the world better. So that's my little tidbits, kicking knowledge. I'm still stuck in here in New York State. I'm gonna make the most of my time, leverage my time. I'm not gonna sit here and Netflix it up for the next whenever this band live. I'm gonna actually sit here and study finance and study business, study myself. So I'll holler at y'all later, y'all. Peace.